So I would say for me, I realized that the feeling of emptiness was not normal.
Mm,
My journey really looked like chasing achievement to feel happy.
mm,
And I never felt happy. And I very distinctly remember sitting in my car being like, give up all your dreams. This is life. This is it. I was 28. And I sat there and I was like, this can't actually be the truth. You are a child of God, perfect and whole.
yeah,
You are a spirit having a human experience, perfect and whole. Okay. And the
yeah.
only reason you don't feel like that's what you are is because you put things on. And your job is to pull stuff off. A lot of the work, I would say almost all of the work, starts with us recognizing that we are as is enough.
You could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello, everyone. Today we're meeting Erica Ballard. She is a life coach and a spiritual mentor. Hello, Erica. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. So let's start conversation by diving into your journey of becoming the person you are today. What led you to discover your true passion in life?
Ooh, I'm like that. I'm gonna make it as fast as possible. Really good question. So I would say for me, I realized that the feeling of emptiness was not normal.
Mm,
Um, my journey really looked like chasing. I was gonna say whatever, but that's not true. Chasing achievement to feel happy,
mm,
and I never felt happy. And I very distinctly remember sitting in my car being like, give up all your dreams. This is life. This is it.
mm,
I was 28. And I sat there and I was like, this can't actually be the truth. Like, it took a while to get there, but I finally realized, like, nope, this isn't it. And so when I understood that, what ended up happening was I went on a deep dive to figure out how to bring my life back, how to feel happy, how to feel joy, how to do these things.
mhm,
Sorry, one second. But what I was saying was I had this space where I stopped dreaming. I just decided
mhm.
like this is what it is and this is where we are. And that's not true, right? And so I started
Yeah.
this journey of like, what is true? How can I feel happy? How can I feel joy? How can I feel the things I want to feel without the thing, like the X equals Y thing? Like, how can I just feel how I want to feel? And man, it's been a decade walk to get there. But I've coming in on the other side, I'm very clear that while we're here to build something, create something,
Mm,
give back, a lot of the work, I would say almost all of the work, starts with us recognizing that we are as is enough. And it's from that
yeah.
wholeness that we create. But yeah, the journey was really chasing things, thinking that this would be
Mm,
something. And I ran into one roadblock after another until I just gave up. And it was like in that giving up that I had that awakening, right? Like there is actually something more, but it doesn't look
mm,
anything like you thought
right.
it did.
Yeah, I think like for us to really understand that those external things or validation that we're chasing or accomplishments, right? Sometimes we first put it in on a pedestal, or if I achieve that thing, or if I be that person, then I have a chance in life to feel happy, to experience joy and abundance. But it's not what it actually is. Like you just mentioned, you have to realize that you have everything here right now in that present moment, and you always operate from that present moment. You have to bring your awareness back to who you are today, right now, and what's available to you. And in that recognition, you know that the only permission that you need is from yourself, not anybody else. You don't have to ask anybody, because you will never satisfy everybody in what you're trying to achieve. There are always going to be people who are for and against, and you can't please. So, really, with you wasting time trying to chase that validation and approval, nothing will change, and you will come to this understanding that you already are enough. And here now you can step into that awareness and power to create, to take responsibility for your life, and knowing that I really can choose who I want to be, what I can bring to this world in terms of service to other people, because everything, comes with us realigning with our true nature and find that thing that inspires us, that brings that passion, don't you think?
I could not agree more. You know, we forget that we create our future from the present. And so we're
Mm-hmm.
constantly living in the future, which is why we cannot create it, right?
Yeah,
Like it's from here that we make the decisions about what will change. And I understand that
right.
in the 3D matter to matter world, we've been taught, no, your past is indicative of your future. And
Mm-hmm.
that's true if we are just to be a human having a human experience. But if you
Mm-hmm.
believe, and I'm going to guess your listeners do, that we are a spirit having a human experience, there's different laws that you get
Yes.
to play by. And the laws that you get to play by look like understanding that it's the present that creates the future, which is why the stories that we love of triumph, right,
Mm-hmm.
are are so near and dear to us because it was that their past didn't dictate their future. It's what they showed up and did every single day that when they made the decision that inspires us, and we forget that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the most important things for us to know and remember, because when we get so obsessed about what it is that we want to create, we forget to be here. And it's here in this moment that we build the thing we really want.
Yes, and all it takes really a decision. We always think it will take so much time. We create that scenario, like illusion in our mind, and that goal, which is unreachable. But really is, uh, what do you want? You have to be clear on what is it that you want, and first realize what actions are you taking in that present moment right now, and why? What are the purpose behind your actions? Once you
Mm,
start become clear of what you're doing and what is it that you want, those actions, are they in alignment with bringing you a step forward to that goal that you have for yourself, or is it like a totally different direction? And then you kind of like you have to become clear and decide that I'm ready for change, and it has to come from inside. Like you have to have that intrinsic motivation.
mm,
Nothing will motivate you enough to do something differently. It's always uncomfortable. It's always, when you step in unknown, it will be uncomfortable, right? But how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do differently today? Because if you continue as you did in the past, nothing will change, really.
yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I think what's challenging for people, and this is what I have experienced myself, but also a lot of my clients, is we say things like, you have to know what you want. And for people who have been people pleasers their whole life, or people who have
Mm,
been chasing achievement their whole life, they actually have no idea what they want, like from
yeah.
an outcome, right? From like, I think I want a coaching business. I think I want, like a house on the hill, right? Like they actually really don't know what
Mm,
they want from a tangible, 3D perspective. But what I do think people always know is how they want to feel. I want to feel
mm,
present. I want to feel spacious. I want to feel free. I want to feel happy. I want to feel connected. And I
yeah.
share that because what you're saying is true. When you figure out what you want, right, then it's very
Mm,
easy to make the decisions to move forward in that direction. But if you can't figure it out what you're building or moving towards, like from
right.
like a creation standpoint, I think
Mm-hmm.
start to create how you want to feel. Because what's missing, right, for a lot of people is they don't know what it feels like to be lit up. They don't know what it
Mm,
feels like to go after something with joy. They don't know what it feels like to be guided. And we reclaim that by saying, okay, I want to feel free. What things make me feel free? Okay, I want to
right.
feel happy. Okay, what things make me feel happy? Because then you start to build the capacity to hold when you act on it, right? Let's say
Mm-hmm.
for me, dancing with my kids makes me feel free, right? If I start to dance with my kid, even if I can only hang for one song, because I have so much to do, because I'm so busy,
Yeah.
right? Like you're building the capacity and the
Mm,
comfortability, if that's a word, right?
right.
To be with that feeling, so you can continue to choose it because you're right. It's a decision by decision space, and your body, your ego will fight you the entire way without knowing where you're if you're not strong enough to know where you're going. But you can start with
Mm-hmm.
feelings first, and I
Yes.
honestly recommend that that's where people start because to build whatever you want to build, the truth is you have to let go and you have to surrender. And God's
Mm-hmm.
source, spirit, universe, whatever you call it, they have a much better plan than you do. But you got to put your order in, right?
Right.
But to get this like awe experience, to be like your mind blown and be like, I can't even believe I built that. You really um, have to learn what it feels like, right, to move in that
Mm.
direction. So there's a long way of saying I agree with everything you said. And if you're like, what do I want? What the hell do I want? Don't, it's too big. It's too big
Yeah.
for achievers turned like, personal development junkies. Like that's where they get stuck. They're like, but I want to
Mm.
manifest a six-figure business. And it's like, yeah, but like you are literally tight, constrained, grasping, and taking the same energy that you used in your life, right? In your
Yeah.
previous life, putting it here and calling it self-development, calling it something different. And it's like, no, 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 you're taking your same trauma, you're putting it here, and we're asking you to not do that. And we're asking you to not do that
Yeah.
by figuring out what you want, and that could be what you want to feel, and then making those small decisions. That's how you turn what you know and what you read about and what you listen to about, like listen
Mm.
on podcasts about, into real action is by bite sizing it instead of bulldozing, which is what almost everyone who goes
Mm.
into this space does, you know?
Yeah, I love how you put it in the simple terms and for people to really start making those steps because feeling is what creates really that flow of energy in that direction because now you tasted that, you know how it feels like, and if you allow yourself to be more present in that feeling and intentionally like put in your schedule those type of activities that bring you joy, fulfillment, or whatever you want to feel like, right? um, Even though it's not exactly talking about that, big goal, but at least you know that feeling will be in your life on a constant basis. This is how you become more familiar with how it feels like, and you know how to tap into that space, into that flow, right? And everything starts aligning. And sometimes you meet certain people unexpectedly, something comes your way, opportunity, synchronicity, you name it, right? And like you said, we are spiritual beings having human experience. So everything is kind of orchestrated on our behalf. We don't need to worry about it really. But by you letting that go and trusting that it will come, and again, we don't know how it might look like. In our mind, it might be something like we imagine, but what if it's something bigger, right? How can we couldn't even think about it really, and then we realized, wow, like usually how you looking back and you realize that was for a purpose, and it's starting with you coming into that flow and trusting and letting go.
Yeah. And I would say for me, that was the hardest thing to do. Right. I think a lot of people who get into this world are doers by nature. And we were
Hmm.
taught that you can push your way forward, and you should. It's not even that you can. You should. You make things happen, right?
Mm.
And this is where I and a lot of my clients have gotten confused, right? Is like we think that when we're creating this life the way that you just surrender, right?
Hmm.
With surrender, we're like, okay, well, I'm just sitting on my bed meditating and manifesting. No,
Mm.
girl, you are not. Like that is not like, yes, piece of the formula is you sitting around being in that feeling, seeing what you want. And then the other piece is like taking that inspired action.
Yeah.
And when you take that inspired action, let it be enough. That's the let go.
Mhm.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I can feel it in my body. This feels good. I'm going. Okay. Now I've pushed a little too far because I don't need to do all that extra
Mm.
stuff. I'm going to let go.
Yeah.
That is the struggle we all go through, right? Is like, how do we
Hmm.
take the action and let go? And it is what you said, like, you just keep choosing to do it. You do, because that's how the brain works. Like, you do it enough times and it stops. We all want, like, listen, I love somatics, right? Like, I love a somatic
Yeah.
experience, but like, we're all searching for, like, I want the somatic thing or the one mindset piece. No, you just do it over and over and over again, unless you have a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and that is a whole thing in and of itself. Okay, like
Mm.
if that's what you want, okay, sis. But I met people who had it. It's not as wonderful as we all think. Like,
Yeah.
but what I will say is like it, it, it is that practice. It is that dedication. It is that like remembering to choose over and over and over again because you're working with the universe and your body, and when you work with both, right, your human and your
Hmm.
spirit, things speed up.
Definitely. And I think it's more of a co-creation than you making that happen.
100%. Yeah, it is like it's a it's 100% a co-creation. You're I say, and people hate this, myself included, I hate this. I'm just
Oh.
taking action. Wait, I'm the reason I'm taking action is I'm just waiting like
Mm.
for the thing to drop. I already put it into the universe. The answer was already yes because I wanted it, right? So now I'm just taking action that I hear to take, waiting
Mm.
because I'm co-creating. Like I put it up there, I heard the action, I'm taking it, and then I'm waiting for the next step. Like it is a give and take, give and take, give and take, give and take, give and
Right.
take. But we want a 7-step formula, and we want to know what the next 5 years of our life are going to look like. Um, but we really don't. But we really, really don't.
And that should be enough for us. We don't need to know. That's the thing. Like we want to be in control. We want to have like all life figured out, but it's not practical. It's not what it like the reality is, let's say. And with you really like feeling that it's enough for you just take that inspired action when you feel calling to do it, but then just like rest and be in that creative space or maybe like focus on your well-being and be in the receptive mode to receive more, to have next step like in your awareness. And again, you will do when you ask to do it, but you don't have to do the heavy lifting. That's the thing. Like we always carry that baggage and we feel like we have to push. And we're the ones that, if I'm not gonna make sure that it's done, then nobody will do it for me, let's say, right? And with that control, I think we're just in a way of something bigger to come.
Mm.
And we are insisting on the outcome, which is not what perhaps is the best, outcome for us should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's so brilliantly put. It is really uh fascinating how we get so obsessed with like what what the outcome should be. And I was laughing because when you were initially talking about like sitting in the receptive mode and do these things, I'm
Yeah.
like, or God forbid, do something fun. Like, God forbid, like, have lunch with your girlfriends and laugh a lot. God forbid, like, watch a comedy special. Um,
Mhm.
and I share that because the feeling, right, is what brings in the manifestation. The feeling is what
Yeah.
brings that makes them that makes your future. And so when you say receptive mode, what you're
Hmm.
saying is be the thing you you are slash want to become. So
Yeah.
go put yourself in the vibration. And it's not as deep as like, I mean, it can be, you can meditate. I love meditating. I meditate an hour every single day. You want to sit in that, sit in it.
Hmm.
And you can also play the piano. You can also go see a show. You can also laugh with your friends. Like, and I think that's a really important point just to put out is like as you are co-creating, as you are making the decisions and letting go, the point of it, the reason you're doing all of this stuff is to
Yeah.
enjoy your life, all of it. And that, like, that could be the end of this interview, right? We're all of the reasons we're doing all of the things that we're doing is to enjoy
Right.
ourselves. I'm like, so go effing enjoy your life as you wait to enjoy it even more, right?
Right. So that's what we have to realize, that we don't have to wait for something to be in our life or somebody to become in order to enjoy life. We can start enjoying it right now as if we already have everything that we need, everything we want. And again, like at the same time, the more will come, and we're trusting that process. We're taking inspired action and we having fun, we doing what we love doing, really. And I think it's coming from our willingness to allow ourselves to be that childlike, curious, playful, and coming back to that energy where, like, we just trust what we have, what's coming, and we are safe, and we know that we are enough as we are, really.
My mentor's mentor, my mentor's mentor, he was in an ashram for 7 years. So my mentor's name is
Mm,
Mitch, and his mentor has a really beautiful name that I can't remember. And she tells a story about a two-winged bird. So one-winged the bird is the really practical piece, like you chop wood, carry water, pay the bills, like
yeah.
put your pants on in the morning, right? Like the very practical side. And then the other side is the spiritual side. So when you wake up,
Mm,
right, it's like trusting in God, hearing the intuitions and following them. It's like meditating, it's connecting, right? It's this like recognizing that it's all an illusion and fear is not the truth and love is the only thing is. A lot of
mm,
us start out so practical with one wing, but then we're just flying in a circle, right?
yeah.
And then we go to all the way to the other side and we go really spiritual,
Mm,
or you can call it very personal developing, whatever you want to call it, right? It's all the same thing,
mm-hmm,
really. Personal growth. Come on. And we just spin around in a circle because you need
mm,
both. You need
mm,
you need both. You need the practical and the spiritual because you're a spirit having a human experience. And so I'm just sharing that because everything you're saying is so true. And I know a lot of people hear these type of things and they're like, but how? And it's like no one
yeah.
said don't respond to an email. No one said don't, talk to that person at the coffee. No one said don't show up to a podcast interview, like, and then
Yeah.
expect the world to come together for you, unless you really are like the master, right? Like, unless you are like,
Mm,
like basically Jesus, right? Like, but even Jesus was walking around, going, giving speeches on boats. So it's like
right.
it's such an interesting piece where like we're trying to figure
Mm,
out how to make this thing work and like what I think you're sharing is so practical if people could just recognize that like you create in the
mm,
moment how you feel is what you like bring forth like do these things that make you feel good, take actions and then wait like until the next piece because that's all the practical stuff. The
yeah.
spiritual stuff is saying and I trust and I
Mm,
surrender. And I didn't think this was the outcome I needed, but apparently it is because it's honing in on what I really want. Like when you start to live life like that, like you get how it all comes together. And like a bird, you can fly with two wings. And then
Mm,
stuff all mean, it's not, I don't want to say mean something, but like makes sense, comes together, you know?
yes. Definitely. And I like how you are bringing that to like small bite-sized information for people to grasp because it might feel overwhelming. Like you always hear people talking about those concepts, but you don't truly like embrace it or like really incorporate in your life. But by understanding that you just overthink it, like it's literally what you say, like you just do it literally, it's not about concept, you just do it. And it's not that complicated for you to really start seeing how the life is unfolding for you, right? It's not just me talking like philosophically about it, right? But really, even that book, like I love this book, Think and Grow Rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many practical tools in that book, right? If only we could understand that it meant to be used literally, right? I don't know why we think if it's too easy, if it sounds too easy, it must be something to it, right? Like it's our mind. We just create this.
That was so good. Like I say this all the time. The stuff is simple. It might
Yeah.
feel hard, right? Like setting a boundary feels hard, but the step is really simple. That's why this work feels so hard because you're choosing to be different than you were. So it's uncomfortable in your
Yeah.
body. But it's like literally, how do I say no instead of yes? Saying no is easy. Like, I mean, sorry, saying no is simple. It doesn't feel easy. Like these books are meant, these steps are meant to like literally just do. My the practice I'm working on right now, my mentor calls it the first growl. You've heard this a
Mm,
thousand times.
yeah.
It's like when the right where that your wanter, like when you want something or you can feel yourself getting mad, you just literally stop and say, "What does my wanter want right now?" So like, what does my ego want right now? Like,
Mm,
oh, it wants to be heard. It wants them to stop doing what they're doing. It want you know
mm,
it wants to go to bed. Whatever. Oh, catch it. Thank you
mm-hmm.
so much for wanting that. You're right. It would probably make my life easier. And that's just not the situation right now. And then we just take a
Right.
few deep breaths. So simple.
Yeah.
But you got to actually do that. Like people say, I want to be present. I love
Mm-hmm.
this. I want to be present. Okay, great. 3 times a day, name your thoughts. See what's in your mind and causing you not to be able to before you're like 7 steps down the road and feeling like all constrained. 3 times a day, just do that. I can't. Listen, you cannot osmosis
Mm-hmm.
change. Like you said in the beginning, you have to do it. And the
Right.
steps are so simple. I just want you to shut the F up and see what's happening in your mind for 2 minutes. And then you see
Yeah.
what is in the background so that you can take all the books by Joe Dispenza and all the neuroscience and
Mm,
scientists and say, like, I'll rewire it. But there's these like small steps that and I'm so adamant about it because that I was the person who kept reading books and then doing things for a week and being like, doesn't work.
mm.
It's a week. Like in the beginning of this journey, and I would say even midway through it, it's going to take you longer than probably us, right? Like we've been on this
Yes.
journey for a while. So when someone says, catch this and change your thought, this isn't some like big ordeal where I have to understand what's happening. Oh, I'm doing that thing again. Switch. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
overreacting. I'm going to go dance. Oh, like we've done it. We've made the choice so many times that like it's it's still a choice, but it doesn't scare us. It doesn't it we get it. But on
Yeah.
this journey, you're just going to have to make that choice 6 billion times until you can make it as easily as people who talk about it and know
Right.
about it, do. And that's perfectly normal and okay. And I recommend you start doing it now, because if you're sick of the work not working, spoiler, you're probably the reason why, you know?
Mm,
Like it
yeah.
hurts to hear, but it's true.
Definitely, it's hard pill for somebody to swallow to understand that we are the one that is on the way of what we want, really. And how come first we can start taking that responsibility and knowing that with all those choices, all those opportunity where we have to make a choice, all we need is to be aware and to see what is happening, to not being reactive, to really choose what's best for us at every moment, right? And it's okay, like you don't have to be perfect, but eventually over time you start choosing differently and you always have those opportunity to choose differently next time, next time, next time. Don't put yourself down for not doing it perfectly in the beginning and give yourself more time to see the results. So you have to see like those results for yourself to really like build more confidence and to feel more
Mhm.
comfortable into choosing it again and again and again, and it becomes automatic and then you don't really think about it, right? It's just like who you are.
Yeah, it's the again and again and again. Like I am not perfect. I mean, I think you're lovely, but I don't think you're perfect either. And
Nobody.
so we're constantly like, oh, ugh. Because here's the thing, the universe, I don't believe it's ever testing you. What I think it's doing is giving you an experience and an opportunity to be who you say you want to be. So don't
Mm-hmm.
worry if you quote unquote screwed up. If you yelled at that person, like I said some mean words to my sister in law, I shouldn't have said it. I love
Oh,
my sister in law, but she said something and I went, like,
oh.
like I, and I had that split second where I was like, you can walk
Mm,
away. And I was like, nope, I'm gonna lean in. Like, I'm gonna make her feel how I want her to feel, right?
mm.
Don't worry. Like, I'm gonna get another opportunity, guys. I'm not worried
Yeah.
to try again, because I said I'm the kind of person who loves everybody, who understands that we're all here just doing our best. Like, that's the person I know I am. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't get to demonstrate it on this particular topic, right? For me, it was
Mm,
around spirituality, right? So I'm not Christian, but I love God and I love Jesus and I love them all.
mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, and I have a very Christian
Mm,
in-laws, and they're like, spiritual people aren't, they don't believe in God. I was like, excuse, what are you talking about?
mm,
And it offended me. And so I
yeah.
wanted her to feel as bad as I felt. I wanted her to feel as bad as I felt. And
Mm,
no, I did not. Like me, true nature, me did not want me to feel that way. And so I know I'm going to get another opportunity to be better. And I love her and and I apologize. And I was like, I was a little insane. Um, and I think that that's the thing we have to recognize. Like, we're not perfect and we're going to get so many opportunities to be who we are until we are who we are. And then we're going to get new opportunities to step into it in even bigger ways. Like
yeah.
we we just get so mad at ourselves for not being perfect, and the game isn't to be perfect. The
Right.
game is to always choose again and recognize it's just a game. And when we open up to that fact, we aren't so hard on like I've got to get it right, cuz
Mm.
you're just not all of the time, unless you live in a mountain by yourself for 95% of the time, you know?
Definitely. And who says what is right, what is perfect, by which standard, right? Like we're
Mhm,
trying to reach something that is not real, first of all.
mhm,
Second, I feel like we're so attached to this identity and the roles that we're playing in that game of life, right? And we try to defend that identity by all means, right? Even if it's like offending another person or whatever. But like once we understand that like we don't have to really feel that attachment. We are bigger than this physical appearance that we see with a certain religious beliefs or ethnicities, races, whatever. Everybody has their own opinion, their egos, but you don't have to be involved in that drama. It's your choice to not be involved, and it's easy to just walk away because you know now you're looking from a different perspective, not just this
Mm,
role that you're playing, but you're stepping behind that. You're just looking at the overall picture, and you know is it's not as serious, right?
yeah. Like when you are the observer, right? Like
Yes.
it's so much easier. And it's like, it sounds so challenging to not get involved, but it really is, it really is quite easy not to ask the conversation, right? Like, or not to ask the question to get you involved. It is easy.
Hmm.
It's simple to walk away. It might not feel like it because you have things in you that say, but I want to be relatable, but I want to be part of this group, but I want them
Hmm.
to know I'm still here. Like, it's our ego,
Yeah.
right? It's our trauma, it's our conditioning that makes us want to do things we know are not in our best interest because they make us feel safe. And that's
Hmm.
okay. That's okay.
Right.
That worked up until now. And now you can move past because I know that detachment and acceptance and all of these, they sound like, for me in this journey, like for a lot of it, it didn't make any sense. But
Hmm.
all that means is just to choose differently, right? To say, this
Yeah.
is how I feel, and I still know that I should choose this.
Hmm.
Like that's the thing, is like these words, um they sound so hard to do, but I would say you have explained multiple times, like it's a decision. Like
Hmm.
all detachment means is to decide not to hang on to your feelings, to feel them, to move through them
Hmm.
and say no thank you. And then when the feeling comes
Yeah.
back 5 minutes later, pausing again and saying, I know, ego, you really want this. And it would really make my life easier, I'm sure. But that's not the game we're playing. Okay. And then 10 minutes later, doing it over and over. It's a decision and some language over and over and over again until you get a place where you can say, like, you just gotta detach. Right? You just gotta accept.
Yeah.
Like, and we don't do that to minimize it, but I think we say it like that because we want you to really understand it is simple. Napoleon Hill was not lying. He really wanted you to
Mm.
think and grow rich. Like
Yes.
that's what he really believed, because he said the laws of the universe say, like, if you believe this about yourself, it will
Hmm.
respond. Like,
Definitely.
we're just so in this world too, in the self-development world, we're so busy um, pulling things off of us, we forget to pour back
Mm.
into our cup, you know.
Hmm, right. And we consider it being selfish. Or if I spend so much time on myself, how about others? Again, pleasing others and trying to look a certain way in the eyes of others, thinking about their opinions of you. And you're again caught up in the drama of your experiences, right? And you need to really like come back to giving yourself that love and compassion and creating space for healing
Mm-hmm.
to occur, allow yourself to feel, but also recognize you have that emotional guidance system. It's all it is, it's like an information for you to see. You don't have to like react to it or be triggered by it, but allow it to be, welcome every emotion that comes, but also know it's something that it's telling you, right, about yourself. And it's that game, it's all a reflection, all of those interactions, a reflection for you to know more about yourself in the end. And you building your character step by step, choice by choice, right? And you choosing differently, you choosing maybe from a place of love instead of place of fear next time. And that's the whole purpose.
I mean, that's the game. Like you're looking to choose love over fear, and when you don't, you choose again. And to your point, which I loved, that the emotions are it's a GPS. Like
Yeah.
the biggest complaint I have from clients and from people that I serve is I don't want to feel my feelings. I don't want to. And I
Mm.
saw this brilliant TikTok. This woman walked outside and it was raining and she covered her hand and she's like, this is what it's her. She covered her head with her hand and she said,
Mm-hmm.
this is what it feels like, or this is what it looks like when you try not to feel your feelings. But like the rain
Mm.
is still going down. I'm still getting wet. Like, but
Yes.
you are pretending it's not happening. And
Mm.
it's this, it's, and she said, like, when you just say it's raining and look up and like close your eyes and let the rain fall down on you, it actually feels
Mm.
really good, right? Like,
Mm.
and I'm not saying it feels really good to feel angry, but what I am saying is like it's going to happen. And the feel your feelings piece, I just want to like pull apart a little bit is like the idea is not to get lost in them. And that's why you don't want to feel them. You think that if you
Mm.
feel them, you get lost in them. But biologically, a feeling lasts for 90 seconds. Like chemically, it
Yeah.
lasts for 90 seconds. Okay, cool. Sometimes you're so mad that you can't let it go for 90 seconds. All right. The idea though is be with it. It will not consume you,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to allow yourself to feel it, and you've got to get comfortable allowing yourself to feel anger, allowing yourself to feel sadness. Those are not comfortable emotions for you, which is why you don't feel them.
Right.
And when you realize it's just an emotion trying to point me in the direction that I want to go, then
Mm.
you can let them in a little bit more. And so that's, what I hear when you say like it's an emotional GPS is like
Yeah.
the idea is they're guiding you to where you want to go.
Right.
And when you learn to be with them, you learn how to have all of them. And then you can enjoy your life and do all the things that we talk about because this stuff is really practical. Um,
Mm.
and you're never going to not have feelings. And you're never going to not want things. And you're never going to not snap at somebody. Like, and so all of this stuff that we're sharing is a reminder that, like, that's the human part of you.
Yeah.
And you said you wanted to be different. And so your spirit, your soul, the universe was like, let's go. And it's giving you these opportunities to do these really, really, really simple tasks over and over and over again until one day you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I'm a different person.
Yes. And again, like it doesn't come overnight, but eventually you will see the transformation. And could be a year from today, you really start seeing yourself from a different perspective, as if you are stepping into that future version of you in that present moment, right? And start acting as if you are already that person. But because it's still different or unknown, it feels not real, maybe in some kind of way, right? And sometimes people think I pretend to be somebody I'm not. But for you to become familiar and comfortable, you have to repeat it so many times so it becomes who you are, right? So you have to allow yourself to give yourself time to see the result, pretty much.
Yeah. And the thing I say a lot to your point about like, I'm pretending to be is
Mm-hmm.
like, if you realize my language, I study A Course in Miracles, right? So you are a child of God, perfect and whole.
Yeah.
You are a spirit having a human experience, perfect and whole. Okay. Like if you come from that space, then you realize that your healing journey is one where you remove anything that makes you feel less than whole. It's when you
Mm-hmm.
believe that you're a project to be fixed that you go outside of you. And so
Mm-hmm.
I share that, and then you start to fill it with like all the stuff, all the things. And I share that because you're not pretending. You are actually showing up as you really are. And the
Yeah.
only reason you don't feel like that's what you are is because you put things on. And your job is to pull stuff off. And I feel
Yeah.
like that shift for me was a really big one in my journey. Um, because when you get that, you're not pretending. You're actually saying, I'm going to reclaim what I really
Mm-hmm.
am. And I'm going to dedicate myself to being that thing every single day and as often as I can throughout. Um, because that to me is the game changer. When you remember what you are,
Mm,
then you don't feel like you're pretending.
definitely. I always say it's a journey of remember, not becoming, really.
Hmm. Yeah. I, when you get that,
Mhm.
when you get there and you really see that, then like the walk becomes, it happens quickly because people say, they say, I want a quantum leap. You've heard this. I want a
Yeah.
quantum leap. I just want to, I want the work to work. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, like you cannot handle it. If like I've met someone, she had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. So what that
Mm,
means for people who don't know is like if you believe in energy, it means that
yeah.
her spirit woke up and realized, oh, I'm
Mm,
actually a spirit. And then she's here. And
yeah.
she could literally call somebody in Sweden. You can call me
Oh,
crazy, that's fine. And could see what they were doing in Sweden. Like be
oh,
there.
wow.
She felt so insane. And her husband was like, "Do I need to lock like do I not need to lock her up?" I mean, could see it. Could see it. Undeniable.
Wow.
But it's like she could barely put pants on, right? Cuz she couldn't quite figure out how to work in this world. And she's still
Yeah.
figuring it out. So when people say, "I want," no, you don't. Like this gradual piece is actually really nice and it's what you chose. It's what you
Mhm.
chose here. So
Mhm.
use it because you can change fast. You can take in information and shift really quickly, but you got to practice it before you get to a space where you can
Yeah.
transmute your knowledge quickly. And in this time space reality, it just requires time and space.
Yes. And I think this is what we all signed up for this Earth School, to really have that space and see that transformation gradually unraveling before our eyes, and really like start taking it in and feeling ourselves more comfortable in a new way of being,
Mhm.
right? But yeah, eventually, like I always say, it can go wrong. It's just a matter of time, but eventually everybody will remember, right? One way or another, one lifetime or another. Doesn't matter, right? Like, what's the hurry? Just enjoy this process now and do your best, the best that you can with the tools that you got, and be in that present moment. Don't check out. Don't think like it's some kind of prison, whatever, right? Like just try to find joyful, things to focus on, and like bring yourself to that state where you feel good. Like you just need to feel good and know what can you do about it. That's all.
Listen, you're right. That's it. It is so simple. Go feel effing good. Like it do you know how much time all of us could save
Mm,
if we just did that? Instead of picking up all of the books, listening to all the listen to this podcast for sure, but like instead of listening to all the podcasts,
yeah.
taking all the programs, if we just said, you know what, I'm gonna start to do things that just feel really good, you could bypass everything. Like truly, you could bypass it all because you won't go
Yeah.
hedonistic. Like you won't. And if you do, someone will pull you in. But like if you spend the next 2 months, shut every single book you ever had and just said, I'm gonna learn how to feel good and I'm gonna do things that make me
Mm,
feel good, your literal life would change. Like it would completely change without having to like slug through the next New York Times
yeah,
self-help bestseller. Like, you know?
definitely. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and wisdom. And for those who would like to connect with you online, how can they find you?
Thank you for this conversation. It was so fun. It truly was. I was like, I laughed
Yeah.
a lot. I laughed a lot, and I thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I am on Instagram and TikTok very much on that at Erica Ballard _. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. And I have also, if anyone wants a free download that helps them connect to their inner guidance. So I created it for podcasts because I know that when you listen to this
Mm,
type of stuff, you're like, but how do I realize it? And this
yeah.
activation really helps people hear like they're okay. I heard all this. I heard y'all, but like now what? And this podcast really that downloaded that guided meditation journal prompts actually allows you to go from now what to physical steps. So if you want that too,
Yeah.
I'll send you the link and they can check that out.
All right, great. Yeah, I will put the link in the show notes as well. And thank you again. And for those who would like to connect, please do so. And I would like to say thank you. I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.